keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 messengers of Jesus Christ, fighting till we see his kingdom. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise.
Let's go. Weapons formed against you will prosper.
You should be good now.
Can you hear us out there?
Can you hear us? Are we good?
Mic check, mic check. 1, 2. Jared's gonna kick a rhyme real quick.
We look. Bring it back on, rewind.
All right, good. We're in.
Where were you?
All right, so I was saying something. You guys all missed it. I was saying we have a special day today. Something I just gotta get off my chest. I gotta say something. I don't like hearing my voice. And I just want everybody out there to kind of help me out with this. We got something we have to do, and it's gonna be really good because I know what I can do, and Jared, I know what you can do.
Well,
You know
depends
what I'm
on what. Depends on what the.
I need everybody out there to help us out and join us in singing "Happy Birthday" to my man, the legendary Hulkster.
Yo, we gotta
say "Happy Birthday"
Let's get him up. Stand him up.
Are we gonna be out of
Stand up.
camera view? Can you just
Stand up. Hold on.
We're out of you. We're out of you.
Margaret. Hold on. You said, wait, who's gonna start it off? Wait.
We
Is
should
there a
have,
cake?
we should have Todd start it off.
Wait,
We should have Todd start it off. You want to sing your own song?
Maggie.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Here we go. We ready?
Wait a minute. How we gonna?
We're not ready yet.
We're not ready yet.
We're not
They're
ready
setting
yet.
me up.
Wow.
What are you talking
It's
about?
a
Hold on.
setup.
What are you talking about? That's why they say happy
Hold
birthday.
on. Margaret, hold on. Where you going, Mom? Relax. What is going on? Whoa. Bring it in. Guys, come in the ring. Come in the boxing ring.
It's the hostess birthday.
Whoa.
There it is.
Yeah, boy.
70 years old today. Hold on. Okay, we gotta sing first.
Not little.
Let's start it off. We gotta sing first.
Did you read this cake?
Wait.
Yeah.
Did you read the cake?
On the whole gloves, Jack.
Oh, you're right.
You got what?
I'm ready to start.
Wait, who wants to hold the cake?
Let's start hold. That's his cake. We got a show we gotta do. Here we go.
Pick a number.
And we ready?
Ready? Guys, come in the ring. Come in the ring.
Look up, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, look in the ring. Whoa, look at this. Bring it in. All right. Start it off. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear you Austin Kapoor. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you.
Yes,
May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Wow. Whoa.
Hey, come on,
Show the camera. Show the camera. See? Show the
I
camera.
don't want to drag it.
My pleasure. I got it.
If that thing hits the floor, I'm gonna lose it.
Look at that.
Let's put it over at the counter.
All right.
Champ. Champ.
Get one of those little stools over there. All right, let's go to. We're gonna go to commercial. We'll be right back. We got a good guest on tonight and a big show. I'm ready for this. All right, take it to commercial.
got me. They got me.
You know?
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
That's the second line. They got me today. That's cool.
That's how we do,
I'm
baby.
gonna work on this.
That's how we do.
Listen,
I'm gonna work on this.
I'm sitting here with a halo on my head. It might get worse.
I didn't know about any of this. Is a big surprise to me too.
It might get worse.
So here's a big question: how old are you? I don't see any gray hair. What's going on here?
I think he died it today.
40.
I know he did.
I'm 42 backwards. I'm going backwards.
24.
I'm
Oh, man.
24.
One man. Good. Me
I'm
too.
going
Young,
backwards. Rewind the time.
Youth.
Awesome.
Yep. You go to the gym today? I went to the gym.
Yeah.
All right. You went to the gym today?
I'm in it right now.
Yeah.
Teach or did you
I'm
train?
here now.
All right.
I came to the gym.
All right.
We're here
So,
now.
you know, a lot of people.
This
they
is
don't-
going. Go ahead.
What's the matter with you? I haven't even said anything yet. A lot of people, they don't understand the bond we built, you know, the brotherhood, the camaraderie we have, the respect we have for one another. Because most of the time we're doing our stuff off camera, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of communication and respect for one another. And I just got a story I got to tell about the kind of an example of all of that, right? So, about a couple of days before Valentine's Day, my man Jared Tillinghast calls me up, and he says, "Mom, I need your advice on something. You know, what's wrong? What's the matter with you guys? Trying to tell a story here, Hulk. What are you doing?" So he says, "Mom, I need your advice on something. I got, you know." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you got, buddy? What's going on?" And he says, "Well, you know, I kind of got somebody I like, and I guess it's a serious story here.
I need your advice.
So I kind of got somebody I like, and you know, I want to show her what I'm all about. I want to take her out, show her a good time,
Me?
wine and dine
I
her
never-
a little
yep.
bit." And I'm like, "Cool, that's right. That's what you should do. That's nice." And he goes, "Yeah, you know, I'm trying to figure out where to take her, you know." So I kind of got it narrowed down to two places, you know, because I really want to impress this girl, show her a good time. I'm like, yeah, what do you need? And I said, "And I know you go out a lot, you eat in different places, so maybe you can help me out." Because he says, "I want to get my reservation so I can get a table." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Valentine's Day, everybody's out eating, so if you don't get a reservation soon, you can't do it. So then he says, "Yeah, well, before I call her and before I make the reservation, I just needed to know if you think that Five Guys is more exclusive
Five Guys.
than Wendy's." And you know, I said, "Jared, you can't. That's not. No. Hold on, brother. Don't do anything. I'm coming over." And he's like, "What? I want to get a table. I want to make sure I get a reservation, get a table." I said, "Don't do anything. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna help you out with this one." And I said, "Whatever you do, don't tell the girl that you're gonna take her anywhere. And for God's sake, don't call either one of those places and make a reservation for Valentine's. Please don't do that." So that's just an example. What's the matter? That's an example. That's just an example of how we're there for one another.
Yeah.
And he can call on me at any time.
And then Bobby came over.
That's
cooked
my
dinner,
brother.
they had a
You
good
know,
night.
you know how it is.
I ain't shopping Zion, baby.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I just wanted people to understand that this is not just for the camera. We got genuine love for each other.
So to compliment Marvin's, what he just said about Marvin, thank you. I want to say, I was originally called him because I wanted to take him to the Frisbee Club that he's the president of.
Oh.
Do we have a picture of the Frisbee Club?
No, you
You got a picture?
Hold on, I think we have. So, do we have a picture of the Frisbee Club? Marvin's a member. He's not only a member; he's also the president.
President.
So wait, is the picture there? The Frisbee? Where is it? Where? I'm looking.
That's behind a second right there.
All right, so there he is. There he is. Yo, listen.
This is not a towel, bro.
Wait.
I'm throwing
Wait.
I surrender.
That's when. So wait, Marvin, I was gonna go to the frisbee club, but this guy, like I say, Marvin, listen, if I had to wear those shorts, I'm not going. So I went to Wendy's.
You did. There you go. My bad. That's my bad.
Love
right
you,
there.
man.
You know?
Love you.
Wow. That's
Yo.
awesome. That's awesome.
So
I was 4-1.
Yo.
I got into that fight knowing that I could get hurt, and I got hurt.
listen,
Are they just gonna leave that up?
yeah,
Not.
I got a couple more missiles if they want to start. I got them both ways. Marvin, how about the job you started when you were cutting wood?
Yeah.
Do we have a picture of Marvin cutting wood? Do we have a picture of Marvin?
Listen, he's
Wait,
ready to go
we
today.
have a picture of
He's
Marvin.
ready
Hold
to
on.
go today.
Wait, hold on. I think this is coming up.
Wow.
Let's give it a second here. I want to
Wow.
see if this is this. Marvin, where do you live?
There
Where-
you go.
look at this. Look at the shorts, Marvin.
That's awesome.
We have a picture.
I'm a little worried because you must have been following me around to get these pictures. How did you
Listen,
get-
they were sent to me. National Geographic
Oh,
sent me
that
this.
said that one.
Listen. Wait, Todd, there's a
No, come on.
Hey, I think we have a bit.
Here we go.
We have some of Todd. Remember when they did
Hey,
the
help me out.
Todd and Marvin did the reenactment of the Apollo Creed? I mean Rocky, and we have the Rocky one. There's a few of them.
sparring up in here we had.
Todd, then we have Todd in his tan trousers.
My team.
Oh,
Standing
yeah,
with
the
your
little accent.
with your girl.
You had a little accent.
Yeah, little one.
Mm,
There it is.
look at that.
There's Marvin and Todd. There's a reenactment. Yeah. This is a reenactment.
That's awesome. Yeah.
This is their
Hey, at
crazy.
least they got my muscles.
They got Todd's GQ models shoot.
Hey, and look what came in tonight. While we're on the topic, right?
Where's his other one? No, we gotta get his other one, but with his
Yeah, well, show, they're gonna.
Forgot about
No,
Oh,
show
yeah,
the other
yeah.
picture.
Ty never gets it.
Wait a minute. Somebody take this phone. Take his phone. Take my phone.
Take my book.
What else? Marvin, your plaque came in today.
Oh wow!
Your hand model and
Thank
plaque.
you. Look at
This is
that.
a
That was
presentation.
from Australia.
Wow.
Australian hand model champion.
I can't show it on camera without getting
Three
paid.
time. Hide your hands.
No, I can't
Girls
show
be
it.
lining up down the street. Look at this, huh? Hand model champion. Look at this guy. Right? There's only one Marvin Bonds, ladies and gentlemen.
You're
Actually,
right.
there's two. And then right
There's
here.
only one now. You're
There's only
right.
one now. Very true. Very true. And then
Look,
right
that's holding
here.
up the phone. We gotta leave that.
Then right here we have Marvin. How he ended.
Look, Todd's going in the
Oh,
Then right here we have
Oh,
how
Check
Marvin
my
ended
down.
most of his fights.
Yo,
Conor McGregor style.
this is
We
not,
got a special one about that. So that's
What?
Jared set me up.
what is it?
Jared set me up.
The phone we gotta leave. What is it?
It's good. You see the picture?
I don't see it yet.
It's behind the
It's
second.
like 30 seconds delay.
Jared set me up.
There it is. This amateur record.
There it is.
Marvin's amateur record.
0-75.
Marvin. No,
Mess with
can't.
me.
Listen.
Do not mess- Listen,
Do not-
I gotta give it to you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take that belt off the wall and put it right around your waist.
Guys, you can go
He
back
came
that
correct
up, please.
today.
I want it now.
Listen, he came correct today. I gotta give it to him. I
Listen.
got outgunned today. I wasn't ready for all of this. Good stuff.
No.
What do we got? I think we got a guest coming on today.
Oh,
Don't we
yeah,
got a
listen.
guest coming on
I
today?
gotta tell you, we got a guest here tonight that I think, normally we try to have people on that people kind of know and, have some kind of, fame of some sort. But I think today's guest is somebody that you may not know, but his story is something that can really be an inspiration to many people, and a lot of people can relate to his story. So I thought, as we talked about it, I thought he'd be a great addition to have on the show. And he's a coach here at Legendary Boxing. So I think he's gonna give us something really good to chew on tonight.
That's exactly what this is about. Real life stuff. You don't have to be a mixed martial art fighter, a boxer, an athlete. Even though he is, you don't have to be that to have a comeback story and have a rock bottom that you figure it out. You have not everybody comes back from that when you hit that moment. It's Some people just
And-
can't get
and-
off the canvas.
And
you
to
know?
have maintain a positive attitude, and, you know,
Puts love on everyone.
yeah.
You
So
know, he donates his time. He donates his time and he cooks and he just works for
Yeah, we'll
free.
get
He
into
does a lot of good things.
so we're gonna
Big
take
asset.
a break, right?
Yeah,
Come
we're
back.
taking a
When we
quick
come
break.
back, we're gonna have Mike McRae.
Mike McRae, the Irish Scott assassin.
SFBN Rhode Island. We'll be back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We rise. Let's go. We got our guest with us. Jared, you want to do the honors?
Mike came in to the gym. He came in. He was interested in boxing. He said he had a little bit of background with Leonard Brown, Coach Brown,
Yeah, Coach Brown at Nickerson.
at the Nickerson Center. And right away, I said to him, I just love this heart instantly. You just know. So as soon as I met Mike, I was like, I had a connection to him, and I was like, yes, I want you in the building. So whatever you're gonna do, I want you here. And from that point on, I started coming in, and he was in here. He'd come in, he'd work effortlessly with everybody in the gym. He'd given everybody his time, just very selfless, good heart, and a comeback story. And that's the most important part about you have a story. You've been down and out, but you still do everything with love, because at the end of the day, that's where this is going tonight. But we're gonna start here. But Mike, you do everything with love, and you just give yourself selfless, and I think there's such character. There's such character to be talked about with that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. It's great to be here, guys. I got to tell you.
You're gonna take.
Well, you went from
You sit up, man. You sit up, man.
You guys went from Rhode Island fighting royalty to some amateur coach.
Well, I had an 0-75 record, so it's not much.
0-75,
in that, so
Listen, right.
royalty in that.
Anything could be better.
So tell us where you came from, Mike. Give us the ground view.
Absolutely. I was born in '71 on the naval base outside of Brunswick, Maine, and we lived in 11 different states growing up. I went to most of my high school in Arkansas, which is a different world than Rhode Island.
Arkansas,
You can imagine. And then we moved up here my senior year to Woodstock Academy, 30 miles west of here, and I graduated from Woodstock Academy and went to University of Southern Maine. On October 1st of my freshman year, I got a call. My father fell over and died. So he was a Vietnam vet, and needless to say, that was it was a change of life.
So were you close with your dad?
Oh, we'll get into my dad, because I definitely want to talk about that. But I dropped out of college and I joined the Army because that was the first Persian Gulf War, Desert Shield, and I joined the Airborne Infantry. And like I said, my dad was a Vietnam vet and went to all the training and jumped out of planes and did all that thing. And the orders all came down, and I got sent to Germany instead of Iraq. And I got to tell you, at that time in my life, as a 19-year-old kid, that it was really difficult not to, because
Did you plan on going to Iraq?
Well,
Were you
I thought I
anticipating
joined
it?
the airborne infantry. I mean, it wasn't going to be a cook or in the military intelligence. I wanted to be that because I was a kid and I didn't understand things, but I wanted to honor my father. And so I went to Germany and played a lot of basketball and drank a lot of beer at 18, 19 years old, and drank too much beer actually.
Was it legal?
It was legal. It was legal for me.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of things that were legal in Germany that aren't legal here.
Your Scottish heritage would have nothing to do with a lot of drinking, right?
Well, I tell you that Northern European people have a propensity for alcoholism.
Yeah.
And if you let the dragon out too much, it'll take you down.
I just want to touch on that for a minute. It's almost like when we think of Irish, we think of beer and alcohol, right? So we grew up in that. We grew up. Our kids grow up. Our kids grow up in seeing that Irish liquor, alcohol liquor. So automatically, you're connecting like a whole race to alcohol. So you grow up thinking if you're Irish, it's what you're supposed to do.
But it was the era too, right, guys? I mean, you were almost the same age. It's like, remember, on Dallas, Larry Hagman.
Almost the same.
Well, almost.
This is my birthday.
Excuse me, you gotta go.
Well, I'll be
Grab his arm.
I'll be 50 in a few months. Yeah. So yeah. So if you guys remember, like in Dallas, Larry Hagman there, you had the bourbon. You had my father went out and had a bourbon every lunch. He was a businessman. So that was the life. I mean, people were smoking on TV back then. Remember? So
For a while, because I was Irish, my dad, I thought I had to put Grey Goose in my Rice Krispies. It was great. I thought because of the Irish, everything was connected. I'm like, I'm Irish. Yeah. But I soon learned,
Yeah.
So you go into the military, and did you see any really way out things in?
there was always interesting things in the military. When you get into something like that, and you're just a stupid kid, you don't know anything, and you see things, you hear things. Every single one of the guys that let me get to that. So I said I went to Germany, and then 9 months after that, they sent me to the 82nd Airborne, which is the elite airborne unit in the Army. Okay, every single one of those guys, when I went from Germany, and I was just a kid. I was 19. I probably looked 14. And I went to that unit, and every one of those guys had jumped into Panama. Every single one of those guys had just come back from Iraq. And I was as cherry as you could say.
so you must have got slapped around.
It was, well.
I'm kidding.
Well, so this is what happened. You guys want to know about the boxing side and how that started. So everybody was kind of giving me a lot of crap. The cherry and the new guy and this, that, and everything. So there was this huge 82nd Airborne boxing tournament, and so the colonel said, "Hey, is anybody out there want to fight?"
Was that the Air Force? Or?
It was the Army.
Army,
Yeah.
The Army's known for the boxing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Air Force is what, jiu-jitsu?
I think it's jiu-jitsu. They're very delicate, the Air Force,
Ooh.
Oh!
Yeah,
I forgot about the crowd. I'm only kidding.
Tough
And
crowd.
now I got to go to work tomorrow, and all the Air Force guys are going to be lined right up.
Wait a minute. That's nothing compared to what he said about the Marines.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna stay over here.
You know,
Go ahead, yeah, you own.
my new boss is a Marine.
Army aren't real Marines yet anyway.
Something like that.
Listen, all I know is what he said about the Marines and the elite forces. Other than that, you didn't say nothing, right?
No, but my new boss is a Marine, so I hope we can delete. Can we delete?
We don't edit. This is live, bro.
No edit. Okay.
This is
No,
live.
so what happened was that the call went out and they said blah blah blah, and I said and by the way I was fighting all the time. outside, not in the ring. I was fighting
Did-
all the time.
Did you know boxing before?
No,
you were
I didn't
fighting?
know boxing, but my father. When we were
Was
talking
your
about my
record
father,
better than Marvin's? At
it was
least?
it was slightly better.
Couple wins.
But my father, and we've talked about about my dad a little bit, but you know, he was a Vietnam vet. He was a disturbed guy, and he was a wonderful man. I will always love him and cherish him. But he was a violent man, and it was frequently we'd come home and it would be one of my three brothers running out of the car saying, "Dad got in another fight." I said, "It's Christmas."
Yeah.
So that was the kind of thing, and we he used to just tell us stories about his life and who he fought, and we just idolized him, but we were petrified of the guy. You know, we were absolutely petrified of the guy, and it caused like some problems.
See, that's interesting. As a child, the parent is, through his actions and his choices, it was affecting them. They idolized him, but yet they were petrified. And do you think his dad knew that he was petrified, or he would have stopped maybe, or he would have changed the story maybe slightly? But you don't know what the kid's going through. You don't know that. You just assume, he's got clothes on his back. He goes to the best school. I feed him the best food. He has the best clothes. But there's little things that a parent can do. Little things, small little things that a parent can do that can have an impact on your child. You might do everything right, raise the kid perfectly. You might do one thing out of the 10. Physical, emotional, whatever kind of abuse it is. Abuse is abuse. Okay? Abuse is when you put yourself in front of that child. When you want to choose anger and choose vindictiveness, and when you do it with malice, it's ugly.
You sound like you know a little bit about
Listen,
So,
hold on. Anybody got an ice pack? Yeah, cool.
all right, enough about me. Let's talk about you.
what do you think?
What do you think about me? This is the mic show. Come on,
Yeah,
go back to
no,
my
no,
house.
So you know, the orders, you know, everything in the Army's official. The orders came down, and they said you're going to be in a 3.5 month boxing boot camp. And let me tell you guys, this is already the 82nd Airborne. There's 55,000 guys in that post, and they took all this group of guys that somehow made it through this grueling conditioning test that we had to do, and we were given orders, and all we did was box. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, we met every day, Monday through Friday. We did a 3-hour conditioning workout, and then we went home, and then we're back in the gym at 1 o'clock. From 1 to 3, we sparred from day one.
Wow.
95, 97 days.
So let me ask you.
You spot every day?
We sparred every day.
Let me ask
5
you-
days
It's a
a week.
tough way to learn how to box.
Well, it was brutal.
I have a question about that. So, if you were boxing in the Army team, did it prevent you from going to war?
No, they didn't, because first of all, the Iraq War was over. Secondly, everybody was, it was an on-post tournament. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was back to the post.
I see. But are there any? I'm sure there's some really good boxers on the Army team and in the military that get a pass from going to war because of their skills.
And you're exactly right, and that's exactly what I was getting to, because what happened was we did this great thing. We had my particular team. We were in tremendous shape. We won most everything, and I ended up in the finals against my teammate, who I told Marvin, I felt like I had trounced him in practice, many times.
Marvin, you would have been in Iraq. Go ahead.
We were fighting at 147, and I weighed in that morning at 151. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
I'm gonna fight every
I just wanted to know what's
Monday
happening.
night.
No, it's safe.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So it was, I was overweight and I lost the fight, but that fight would have been to get permanent orders to be the boxer that you talked about.
Oh, really?
So what I think that, and I know that you guys talk about God sometimes, but I fully believe that my life trajectory as dictated by God wasn't to become an Army boxer at that time.
Right.
Right.
So I want to kind of fast forward just a little bit, because I want to get to the the meat and potatoes of your life story. because I think that's what's going to really have that impact on the people that are watching tonight. It had that impact on me when you told me. So you get out of the army, and what happens at that point? Where does your life go from there?
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't good. You know, right from the beginning, I got involved with a great job selling hot tubs in the 90s when it was free for all. And I was also part-time working at a liquor store.
Mhm.
And so I bring that liquor home every night. You go out, you party hard, you're in hot tubs and selling hot tubs. It was a high dollar industry. And then you'd walk over to the liquor store and you grab something and you go home, and it became a pattern. It became a pattern. But here's the thing, is that I knew it wasn't good for me. And I fought it. I fought what I later now know was alcoholism. By hitting the heavy bags and training and doing all those things to keep it at bay, because I just felt that, you know, I felt better when I was in the gym and when I was at the bar. You know, there's something about alcohol and boxing that doesn't seem to work out.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Usually the drunk guys are the guys on the floor.
You know, you hit the heavy bag for 3-4 hours, something like that, and then you go out and you have a 12-pack of beer at a bar, and everybody expects you to be social. I mean, you're a machine. I mean, you work out all the time.
Yeah.
So it just develops. It was just awful. And I'll tell you, to fast forward to the part that you were talking about. I gotta say I think I was a madman.
All right. So coming back home, you started drinking just because of the job, or because
well, that was part of it, but it was a gradual descent into
Just
worse.
continuous behaviors over and over, it becomes a pattern. Did you have anything to do with the hot tubs or just the alcohol?
Oh, the hot tubs! I've been in more hot tubs than anybody alive, I think.
I'm just asking.
90 hot tubs.
You get any more?
Stay away from me.
No.
Where are they?
Well, after what that cake
No,
said,
I got sore. I'm
wouldn't-
achy.
I wouldn't want to be next to
Back
Jared
pain.
tonight either. You talking about hot tubs now?
I need the jets. I got pains in my.
So alcohol in itself, they say, is a depressant. So
It
I
is.
feel like when you drink, once or twice, once you start, once a week, twice a week, whatever, week after week after week, now all of a sudden all these other issues start setting in. Like, you might get angry or sad for no reason. You're thinking it's the weather or this problem or that problem, not realizing you're feeding yourself poison 3, 4, 5 times a week, 6 times a week, and then it ends up every day.
I'm sure we all been there. How many times do we say, "Oh, I had a terrible week. I can't wait to have a drink."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you blame your bad week, you wanna use that as an excuse to have a drink, but that bad week and that drink turn into Chucky doll. Because you think that you're gonna drink to forget, but like you said,
The next morning
it's a
you wake up,
depressant.
It's even worse.
Yeah, so you turn a bad week into a
Wake
bad
up
month.
feeling like crap.
Yeah. Me, I used to wake up in a soul block. How'd I get here?
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Well,
I can't really talk about that. But,
well, not of my own doing anyway.
I've been there.
So the alcoholism starts, and then I mean, like, did you lose your job?
Yeah. So what happened was that I resigned from my position as the sales, and then I started I don't know, it was just a rash of like part-time jobs, and I worked at a dojo and a bookstore and a this and a that, and I was just making it. I don't know. I think God was looking out for me the whole time. I know He was looking out for me the whole time, because I got out of so many situations, and I was at that point. I was the type of guy that if I had a big duffel bag, and if things weren't working out, I could pack that duffel and I would head out. People would never see me again, and I lived that way for years.
So you ran
Yeah.
from what? What were you running from?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Marvin. You asked me that yesterday.
Well, what are you running from?
Yeah, or the day before or something. The honest to God truth is the reason why I joined the infantry, and the reason why I joined the paratroopers, and the reason why I got involved with boxing is because I was deathly afraid that I was going to meet someone like my father again.
You were
And
gonna
I
be
didn't.
someone.
I was going to meet someone like him again. I wouldn't be prepared, and that I'd have to go through that terror.
Did you ever think that you could be him?
That I could be him.
You could become him?
I never did. I feel like I was molded into something. I don't think, now we have to understand that he's a human being too. And what did he go through? And what happened
He was
to
a
him?
kid once too.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they went through. Just because you become a parent doesn't necessarily mean we as kids look at mom and dad like, we watch TV, we watch movies, we watch the Brady Bunch, and we watch the Little House on the Prairie running through the fields, and we look at mom and dad and put them on this pedestal because that's what we know as children. But when you get older and you start having wisdom, you realize your mom and dad were kids once too, and they were just like you. They just happened to become a mom and a dad, and maybe they didn't deal with their baggage stuff, and they didn't know how to deal with it, so they transferred it onto you unknowingly, because I'm sure that they still love you.
But because you're there, you're the closest thing,
That that's all they know. They never really did self personal development. They never really looked in on themselves to say, how can I fix me? And that's the problem with today. Everybody looks at everybody else and says, you got to fix you. You fix you. If you do this, I'll do that. Or you need to do this in order. Nobody's gonna. Your only happiness is gonna be within you. You look in yourself and fix you, and everything around will fix itself. You don't have to worry about fixing everybody around you. Fix who you are. Do what you have to do, and everything will take care of itself.
So, it was interesting. It was around that time period that I don't know, I became obsessed with boxing, but martial arts in general. I remember poring over Bruce Lee's Dao Jeet Kune Do and just memorizing it. And then when I found like Sun Tzu's Art of War, and I thought, and I tried to construct myself by reading all these wonderful books about tactics and about how to control things, appear strong when you're really weak, and appear weak when you're really strong. All these things that I just poured over, and I was like, this is how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live a militant lifestyle, because I thought that would protect me from the demons that I was fighting, the ghosts of the past.
Yeah.
So
You ever hear of 48 Laws of Power?
No, I haven't. But
So that it was similar. I read 48 Laws of Power, and I was reading The Art of War, and then I was trying to line them up with the Bible, because I was reading the Bible at the same time. But I was like, oh man, this doesn't go, because these books are manipulation, and Jesus Christ this is how it is, and this is how it's supposed to be. So it was messing me up. I actually ended up having to close those books and just continue on.
They are manipulation. It's a form of it's almost like sly. It's like trickery. It's
48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, it's trickery.
Art of War was the same thing.
it's trickery.
Yeah.
It is. It's
well, the thing is that as people who have been in athletics, but I think every human being, how far do you want to take it?
Yeah.
How far you want to go? Because how far you can go.
Yeah.
And you can go
All the way to
all the way
death.
to death. All the way to death.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
what happens next in your journey?
Oh,
let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
okay.
Mike McRae.
SFBN Rhode Island. We'll be back.
Legendary boxing in the house.
Don't go anywhere.
Legendary.
Yes.
Okay, so we're back.
We're back.
Mike had to answer for some of that military talk he was talking about.
Yeah,
so
there's a Marine
he'll
just
be-
came in.
Yeah, he's going through some stuff right now, but hopefully he makes it through that and he'll be right back.
Marine's
In one
positive.
piece, we don't know.
Ah,
I think it's a jujitsu guy.
Well, somebody pissed a few people off. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you made it back.
Oh,
Okay.
look.
All right, cool.
we just said Mike.
Sorry
Mike
about that.
was. Mike's in the back getting beat up by a Marine.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be lining up tomorrow.
So good, Mom.
So, you do the boxing, you're going through alcoholism.
Yeah.
And then what's the next step? In your
Well,
life?
I want to say there's a strange part here. I voluntarily, in a strange way, I really got into spirituality big time, and East and West, the Sermon on the Mount to the Dhammapada and Buddhism and stuff like that. And I was reading these things, and I'm like, this is the secret. I can literally take what I learned from boxing and the military and all these disciplines, and I can apply it, and I can surpass human misery. I really believe that with all my heart. And so I walked out of my life, and I lived in carriage sheds. I lived in. There's a funny story. Because I worked a lot too. I knew this guy up in Massachusetts who was a contractor, and he asked me if I would come and work for him, and I could stay in his house. So I went there and I checked it out, and I looked over and I saw this really nice dollhouse kind of thing in the yard, the big kind of shed thing. And I said, I'll live in that. And he says, well, my daughter owns that. So you're going to have to talk to her.
That's
I had to pay her $1 a day to live in her house.
Now wait. Did you
That's
go?
cheap rent. Is that place still available?
Listen, I think I'm already on the waiting list. Now, did you go in it because it was like a dollhouse, or did you go in it because?
No, I mean, it was a shed. It was a shed, and the dollhouse part was just an interesting part.
That excited
A
you?
component. I don't think it went that far. No, but it's a funny story. But that's the kind of thing that happens when you're in that kind of mindset, and also being polluted by alcohol and or whatever drugs and stuff that you might be.
Pollution is
I see
pollution.
where you get. So being in that frame of mind, and spiritual, and drinking, and all this together, you're just like whatever way the wind blows almost.
I thought everyone else was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that I was
And
the
you're
only
right, they
one.
are. But
Yeah, they are. Everybody is. But then, and so what happened is I went from place to place to place, and finally when I was in my early 30s, I fell off a roof. I had a roofing job as a lumper, and I fell off a roof, and I just catastrophically hurt myself. I mean, broke my shoulder blade, all my rib. I was laid up. The doctor said I would never use this left side again, and
That explains everything. Go ahead.
yeah. The jab. I'm going to be working on the
I'm
jab.
not talking about the jab. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then what happened there was actually the crisis. Because of pain, not having insurance, and not having any of the things that any normal person would have that was, well adjusted, right? And I just drank for pain management. It got really bad, and there's something that physiologically happens to you when you drink that much. You can't stop.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
You get sick.
Once you get to 1 or 2, once you get 2 or 3 or something, I don't know what the number is.
It's like
Yeah.
a diet. If you're eating good, you're eating good. But as soon as your palate tastes something that
I see.
is appealing, now you want more. That you could be eating very good and healthy, and then when you're eating healthy, you say, "How did I ever eat so bad?"
Yeah.
Right. Then you eat bad once, and you say, "How did I eat that food again? How can I touch that salad again?" Because you don't want it, because it's just the way it happens.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm sorry, I don't know if you want to say anything, but you. As you're telling your story, Mike, I feel like you kind of almost like you punished yourself almost in a sense,
Yeah,
I
I'd say
want to
that's
sleep.
the-
I want to sleep in that house, or did some people think that not being happy or being miserable is a self-defense mechanism, actually, to keep yourself. It's easier to be angry. It's easier to find things to blame on. It's easier to point the finger. It's easier to look at the outside and say, it's everybody else, and you sleeping in back seats, and
And you're like, I'm good. I don't need
yeah,
it.
yeah, and it's almost like that, and then you add alcohol to the mix. I think that's part of the rock bottom, not knowing your worth, not knowing your value, and what you bring to the table.
Indeed.
And you fast forward to who you are today, and that's what I'm talking about. Your worth,
Well,
your worth and
What was
value.
it that rose you up?
Yeah. So finally, I think it was like 2006 or I think it was 2006. Because I'm a veteran, they allowed me to go to the Veterans Hospital, and they have the best system in the world for helping people with what I have, which is, by the way, we have to understand one thing. My alcoholism was a symptom. It was a symptom of a deeper issue.
Yeah.
It wasn't the problem. I always thought it was booze. It wasn't booze.
The problem from childhood,
I was
Way back.
I was fighting the demon.
way back,
Yeah.
that you don't even know it's in your basement, and it's going like this around and around and around. And that's what happens to children. That's what happens to children. They hold it in the basement, and it looks good from the outside, but the damage doesn't change. Go ahead.
And it's interesting. And now we get to the more recent part of the story, which is for me actually the hardest part of the story. So I did it. I pulled myself together. I ended up going to a place in Olneyville called Gateway, and that's like a veterans homeless or transition home. And I walked over to the Nickerson Center in Olneyville, and I saw the ring in there and met Coach Brown and his son, and I ended up getting my certification and doing all the boxing stuff.
Well, bringing you to the community center before you even knew it was a boxing gym, you were going there to do work with community. It's like a whole place.
Well, I
So,
was
you
a
know-
homeless, broken veteran.
So that right. So again, he went to the Nickerson house. That's how God works. He works through people and things, and puts people in your life and puts you in places. You got to recognize it. So he goes into a place because he's looking for a place to stay and eat. And all of a sudden, in the next room, there's a boxing gym in there. He didn't walk in that gym by accident.
That's right. No.
He was led that gym. It's all part of the. It's all
As
part
soon
of
as
the
I saw it, it was boom. By the way, the funny thing about that day is I walk into that gym, and there's Coach Brown is taking some 6'2", 21-year-old kid to the Golden Gloves at Fall River Powell in 2 weeks, and he puts me in the ring with the guy. I just coming out of a homeless shelter.
Yeah, but
Put me in, go.
So I was.
but he's got.
trained and ready to go.
Yeah, don't downplay the army boxes. They all that. Now he comes out. Yeah, I'm
wait,
sleeping
so-
in the bush. He comes out like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Let me tell you what. So what happened was, the guy he's tall and he's long, and I'm having trouble, and so he's hit me, and I start going hard, harder. And he scars hard. Next thing you know, we're trying to kill each other. And Coach Brown screams, "It's like, Corbett!" He goes, "You trying to kill my man?" And I was like, "He's trying to kill me. I'm the old.
trying to defend
He's trying
myself.
to kill me." And he goes, Coach Brown goes, "Don't let me go get my gloves." And I said, "Get them on, old man."
Oh.
And he was 60 at the time.
Yeah.
We were friends, and he was my mentor.
Amen.
After that, he
See that?
he really did the
Look
best,
at that.
best
Yeah.
for me.
And,
So you
and
said you also went from there to do the masters, didn't you?
Yeah. So I got we remember Chick the
Chick
guy
Chickaroni.
Yeah, they used to run
Chickaroni, that's a tribute to Coventry Boxing.
Yeah.
Chickaroni.
Yeah, so we were doing all this stuff, and I think it was 35 was the cutoff for the Masters, and I was like 36 or something like that. And they're talking to Mike Capiello and
Rich Capiello.
Rich is
Mike Capiello does they're both partners with the Marciano.
okay. Well, it's been a few years. So one of the Capiello brothers, and then so they said we have a guy, and I said I have a guy. By the way, during this time we were doing smokers in Cape Cod. We were going to the to Capiello's.
Is that in Providence Town? You did on the.
What's that?
Is that what
Why
the,
is he I'm gonna skip over that.
It's just like
Yeah. So everybody was saying, "Hey, we gotta."
Jared's demons are coming out. He's still dealing with
I don't know.
But go ahead.
No, so Mike said he had a guy, and I'm like, fine, and I'm like, what weight is it? and it was he goes, coach tells me it's 178, all right, or no 168 or something like that. And so I come into the fight at 166, and the guy's 178.
No.
You know, and he looks like they let him out of Alcatraz. You know, but what we did is, what we did is we did the same thing we do here, and I used the entire. I don't think there was 1 inch that I didn't touch 3 times in the ring. You know, and I ended up winning.
Nice.
You know, so it was good. It was
Now,
good.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Listen, so
I'm gonna go with the bathroom for a
Thank
minute.
you. Yeah, get your makeup. So
Yeah,
you want to know?
You want to know what happened?
So no, you won the fight. Okay.
Yes.
So what I want to know now, because we're gonna take a break again.
Oh.
I'm just curious. How did that? Because Jared talked about how things lead you to certain places.
Yeah.
So how did that lead you to legendary boxing?
Well,
How'd you get here? Because like I said, he is a coach here, one of our coaches here. So
And then I will, and there's so much in anyone's life to say, and I apologize. I went too long on so many stories, but how I came here I had been I was at that veterans transitional place, and I got an apartment 1 mile down the road, and so I was around here, because I go to the dollar store a lot, so. That's right there. So I was always seeing it as I was driving by. And then, tragically, my younger brother committed suicide in September. And I knew that I was at a vulnerable point. And I said, Mike, it's got to be boxing again. Boxing's
or
going to
be something else.
Yeah, or it would have been something else, because I've been sober now for a couple of years.
How old was your brother?
He was 42.
Wow. So there's a rise in men in this country committing suicide at a later age.
Yeah.
It's something that should be watched and spoken about. We're gonna address that on one of these shows.
I think it has something to do with what you're talking about too, because you had some foundation. You're reading the scriptures, you're reading other books to give you that, that hope and that idea of, hey, there could be something better, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have an out. They don't have anything. They don't have no faith. They don't have no foundation. So once they go through the drugs and the alcohol and if it's the women or whatever it is, and that's not fulfilling anymore, and they got nothing left, their families are broken up, they don't have a job, then they figure the only thing left is to end it all, They don't come back. And if you don't have a support group of people, like I talked about the story earlier, how Jared called me up and he wants some advice on a restaurant.
Wendy's.
So there you go. So if you don't have that kind of support group, then you feel like you're in despair. And you just,
But I know God puts certain people in your life. You have to pay. Jared was saying God uses people, places, things like that. So you got to try to pay attention to what God's doing and how He's trying to move in your life. With whatever type of person, and if you don't have a faith in God, you might want to just ask yourself that question: is there a God? And stop right there, because I know once you knock, the door will be open.
You said it so well just then when you said you got to pay attention. It was so funny. For the longest time, I thought that all these great things, and a lot of great things are happening to me now today. Or not, not tonight. not just tonight.
What he's trying to say is what he's trying to say is this is his greatest moment thus far. Go ahead. I understand. Go ahead.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. No, you were saying to pay attention, but I used to always think that, when I got sober, everything, all these great things would start happening to me, and they have. But guess what? They were happening to me when I was drunk.
You didn't receive it.
First of all, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
It was happening anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I started getting blessings because I got sober.
Preach.
Oh my God. They're the ones that got me there.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So it's like, now I see it though. And if you sit and you watch and you're observant, just like you said, you can see it. It's coming.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Thank you for that.
Self-reflection.
Yeah.
And I will say this for people who are out there and you want to come and train. Mike's an excellent trainer, very energetic. He has great routines he can put you through, and he's in here quite a bit. So if you're looking for a place to come, obviously Legendary Boxing is that place. and we have several really good trainers here, and Mike actually being one of those.
And Marvin also is one of them. Marvin, this was something.
I feel something
Yeah,
coming.
you teaching
I feel
breakdancing?
something.
Wait a minute.
I feel something
Wait
coming.
a minute.
I feel something coming.
Listen, if I
Anytime
keep,
Jared stops and pauses like that,
wait a minute. I'm not gonna.
I feel a shot
Listen,
coming.
listen.
Okay, go ahead. What am I listening
Too much of one thing is never good.
to? Okay,
You know, so we gotta come around, mix it up a little bit. Marvin's one of the trainers here, but Marvin was a big, a huge part of Legendary for Super Saturdays. He really comes in there and he puts the kids through a conditioning program. He got everybody ready for the gloves. He's committed and he does a great job. We're gonna be bringing Super Saturdays back at Legendary.
Super Saturdays, I'll tell you what.
Ooh.
You want a real workout,
Ooh.
and you want to go through some things.
This is-
It's not called Super for nothing. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be posting about Super Saturdays, and the classes are gonna be limited
Correct.
because of coronavirus restrictions still. So, but we can fit 10, 12 in here for now, and but the classes are gonna be Super Saturday. I'll be making announcements soon for that. Todd's gonna be running the class in his speedos.
Oh, nice.
So there's gonna be a class.
Doing a lot of squats.
That's
You
awesome.
know, listen,
I
everybody
can't say
gonna
I
line
wanna
up
see
today.
that, but that's nice.
You know, hey, he's the couple resorts,
There you
the
go.
couple resort yoga guy.
Nice.
Boom,
There, yeah.
boom.
with the long hair.
Yeah, the one here.
Listen.
Then do it. Boom.
Is it still fun?
What?
Is your phone still showing the show?
Yeah.
We got the picture there for you.
What
It
picture?
takes like 6 seconds.
No.
What picture?
I'm almost afraid to see what you guys are.
Wait,
This is Todd and Marvin doing Super Saturday.
wait.
You guys must have set up all day for this, huh?
I love it.
Todd and Marvin doing Super Saturday. Listen, every week it's a new costume. Every week it's a new costume. You're not gonna want to miss this week. Mike's even dressing up. What are you gonna be? Rope Man. Rope Man. Rope Man is from what was that? Rope Man, baby. No, they had like 4 of them. There was Rope Man.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna
Diaper
tell
Man.
That's rope, man.
Yeah, that's
That's
Rope Man. He's
yeah.
broken down.
We're gonna take a break. Come
Where
back.
are you going with
Is
this?
this better?
Killing me.
Talking about Ropey's roping my mouth.
Give me a second. What do we got?
I mean, anything's better than the one where you wet your pants. So I guess you gotta-
Is that better?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
tribute to the
Hope
host.
Star.
What else do we have? What else do we have?
The Hope Star, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's a great.
We got any more?
No, that's enough. Listen. I'm out on the field.
Wait.
Listen, we're
come
gonna
on.
take a break. We're gonna come back. Todd's gonna send us home.
Yeah, man.
Holla.
We're back. Mom, Jared.
So,
Yeah, go ahead,
So
Mom.
that was good. It was good stuff. Listen,
Oh, I can feel it.
no. Relax.
I already
I'm not
feel
coming
it.
for you. I'm not coming for you. You're off the. No, I just want to thank Mike for coming on, and I think there was so much more that we didn't get into because of time reasons about his story, but truly inspirational and very, helpful, I think, for a lot of people, because a lot of people are going through that. People out here going through a lot of things, either, losing their jobs through COVID or getting COVID and being sick or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times some people want to just throw in the towel because they don't see any, light at the end of the tunnel. But this man talking about sleeping in cars and sleeping in doll houses or whatever that's all about. I don't know about
Listen,
that.
we're gonna have to talk about
yeah,
that.
we're gonna have to talk about
Run a
later.
background check
Sleeping
on
in
him.
doll houses. So whatever he was doing there, but I mean, he went through the adversity and he clawed his way back, and
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's how you
He
do, right?
rose
That's
up.
what we do. Well, listen, we all fall. That's part of life. If you're in a good situation, don't worry, it will change. If you're in a bad situation, don't worry, it will change. It's how you respond to the situation that you're in.
A righteous man falls 7 times and rises again.
Kind of sounds like one of your fights. Anyway, so Todd's gonna bring us.
home.
I had to get that last shot.
I'll be ready next week. You better be ready.
I got a present today from my sister in Christ. It was nice letters right here.
You gonna read all that?
Shashaya, Pastor Shashaya.
You gonna read all
My
that?
people. So she gave me a scripture, one for every year of my life. So today,
Birthday, huh?
so we're in 2021. I'll read Psalms 145, 18 and 19. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who fear him. He hears their cry and saves them.
Amen. You hear that?
My brother. over there,
Wait. Did you hear what he just said? Look at me. Truth prevails.
All who call on him in truth.
Truth prevails at the end, and it always will.
Amen.
Truth.
That's good stuff, gentlemen.
Boom.
Yeah.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again, you already know.
Hey, birthday Venus! Birthday Venus! The gym style!
I'm not messing with the whole stuff.
They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know.